Hello everyone, I am sorry for not posting in a while. I had some things to take care of, but this is part 8 of What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like and subscribe. To see more, comment down below. Now let's start. Haku quickly jumped into a mirror as Naruto charged at him. With one punch, Naruto shattered the mirror. Surprised, Haku didn't block the kick that was thrown by Naruto. It sent the teen flying into another mirror. Haku quickly shook the cobwebs out just in time to get out of Naruto's way. He disappeared into a mirror and surrounded Naruto. He then launched a barrage of senbon at Naruto. They struck the blonde, but it did not drop him. He roared and forced the needles out of him. Haku was surprised and shocked at the hate and malice in his chakra. Having enough, Naruto did some hand seals. Katen, Ruka no Jutsu, Fire Release, Dragon Fire Technique, Naruto roared. He was surrounded by a dome of flame before the fire split up into several dragons. Because of the chakra of the Kyuubi, the fire was much more intense and strong enough to smash through the ice mirrors. Haku was able to escape the attack and landed away from his former dome. He then felt a sudden chill. He lashed out with a senbon, but his wrist was caught by Naruto. Spinning him around, Naruto drove his fist into Haku's gut. He gasped, but he wasn't able to register it because he was smashed in the face. He was sent flying a few feet before being stomped on. Naruto flicked out a kunai and was about to bring it down onto the prone body, but suddenly stopped himself. The punch that he landed on his face smashed the mask into pieces. It revealed a familiar face to the blonde. Haku coughed up some blood before looking at the boy. "Why did you stop your assault?" Haku asked weakly. What the hell are you doing here?" Naruto asked demandingly. "I would think that the answer is self-explanatory," Haku said. He moved, making Naruto react and bat away the senbon. He threw another kunai and caught Haku in the leg as he moved out of the way. Haku pulled out the kunai and looked at Naruto. "You are quite good, Naruto. Zabuza-sama was right about you." "Enough of the bullshit, Haku. Why are you here? Tell me," Naruto demanded. Haku looked at him and began his story. Zabuza was waiting in the mist as he looked for Kakashi. That vile chakra that he felt earlier was now gone, and he could barely feel Haku's chakra. He was a little worried about that. The blonde kid was very skilled and could probably match Haku in skill. Still, he needed to concentrate on the task at hand. He could hear the heartbeat of one of Kakashi's brats that was near another heartbeat, which he assumed was the old man. He could hear Kakashi's ragged breathing and smirked. It seems that wound he gave him was affecting him. He believed that it was time to end this fight. Suddenly, he heard Kakashi's voice and something being slammed onto the ground. "Kuchiyoza, Doten, Suiga no Jutsu. Summoning, Earth Release, Tracking Fang Technique," Kakashi said. Zabuza was confused by what he was doing. He suddenly heard the rumbling of ground below him. He moved his foot as a pair of teeth came out of the ground. He wasn't fast enough to avoid the other pair of fangs that dug into his ankle. He was then bitten several more times, 2 in each ankle, 1 in his knee, 1 in his thigh, 1 in his forearm and 1 on his shoulder. He was restrained and could not move. He was in pain, but he looked around to see that he was being restrained by dogs. "What? How?" Zabuza hissed. "You're not the only one who can see in the mist, Zabuza. My ninja hounds, can track you as well. All they needed was the blood that you have on your blade," Kakashi said. Zabuza growled. He couldn't move because the dogs would tear him apart. The mist began to clear and Zabuza could see Kakashi. "I believe it is time to end this." Zabuza watched as he did some hand seals and put his palm toward the ground. That's when Kakashi's chakra was being shown. This shocked Zabuza, who watched it with a little fear. Lightning was arcing from his hand and it was blaring loudly. What is this? I can actually see his chakra. Zabuza thought. Kakashi looked at Zabuza with a serious glare. Like I said before, your future is death. Kakashi said. I'm sick of your bullshit. I don't care what your stupid monkey eye could do. You can't tell me the future. Zabuza snarled. You went too far, Zabuza. Your ambition was too great and because of it you had to attach yourself to scum like Gato. Tazuna's dream will not be stopped by you or Gato because he is doing things for his country. A dangerous person like yourself would not know anything about that. That's why I can show you no more mercy. You're about to die, Zabuza, so this country can live. Kakashi lectured before charging at Zabuza with amazing speed. He reared his hand back and prepared to kill Zabuza. Naruto and Haku stood in front of each other. Naruto could not believe how harsh Haku's life was. He couldn't even compare to what he went through. While he never knew his parents, he would have never thought that they would kill him just because he had a Kekkei Genkai. To hear how the life of every Kekkei Genkai user in Kirigakure was just shocking, and it made his familiarize with Haku. He couldn't judge Haku for his connection to Zabuza as it was somewhat similar to his relationship with Anko. So, now you know why. Now, I need you finish what you started. I am a broken tool and I am no use to Zabuza-sama. You must end my life. Haku said. I get where you're coming from, Haku, but I'm not going to kill you in cold blood. Naruto snarled. Why not? Are you too soft to take a life? Does the death of your comrade not enrage you? Haku taunted. No, you're too kind-hearted to kill. I bet that's he's in the same state that you put Zabuza in. I'm not going to kill you, Haku. Convince Zabuza to surrender and maybe we can do something. Naruto pleaded. Haku smiled at him but turned serious when he felt a spike of chakra. It wasn't Zabuza, so he knew that it was Kakashi. He turned to Naruto. I wish we had met under different circumstances, Naruto. We could have been very good friends. Goodbye. Haku said before he vanished. Naruto cursed and made his way over to where he believed Haku was going. Kakashi looked at the situation with surprise. Blood was splattered over his face, but it was not the blood of Momochi Zabuza. His dogs were forcefully removed from Zabuza with a bunch of senbon. A mirror of ice was between the two jonin and a body was there as well. It was Haku who had blood running down his mouth. He had a smile on his face and a grip on Kakashi's arm, preventing it from going farther into his chest. Sama, Haku whispered. Zabuza's shock turned into a vicious smirk. That's my tool. You were always the best, Zabuza said before grabbing his blade. Kakashi reacted quickly and jumped away from Zabuza, who just missed. Zabuza looked ready to push his advantage until he was struck in his knees, kidneys, shoulders and elbows. He dropped to his knees and was gasping at the pain he was in. He turned to the direction the attack came from and was facing a very angry Naruto. Kakashi was surprised as well at the shuriken that was lodged into the joints of the Kiri swordsman. You bastard, he gave his life for you and you tried to cut his dead body in half just to kill Kakashi, Naruto snarled. You don't deserve the love that he gave you. Hey, so he wasn't able to kill you. He must have gotten connected to you and didn't fight with everything he had. I guess he failed after all. Zabuza scoffed. Naruto's killing intent spiked and looked like he wanted to rip his head off. That's when he heard laughter. Everyone turned to see Gato standing in front of an army of bandits. Well, look at the baby demon. Taken down by a little kid, how pathetic. Gato mocked. Everyone laughed as Zabuza got to his feet. What is this, Gato? Zabuza demanded. Well, I figure that you are too expensive to keep on my payroll. I've decided to just kill you and do the job myself. I'll cash in on your bounty, Gato said with a smug smirk. He then looked at the dead body of the boy Kakashi laid down. I guess I owe you a thank you for killing that brat. Stupid little shit broke my arm and I won't get to pay him back. You little son of a bitch, Naruto growled and was prepared to charge at the little bastard, but Zabuza stepped in his path. Naruto was about to shout at the man before he watched him grab his sword. Naruto was surprised by this because he saw that his shuriken was still lodged in his joints. He shouldn't have been able to even stand. Zabuza saw his eyes and grunted. Next time, you should use kunai as they go deeper than shuriken, Zabuza said. I'll remember that the next time. What the hell are you planning now? If you think I'm going down, then you're as stupid as you look, Naruto said. The statement made Zabuza chuckle. I like your attitude, kid. Whoever taught you did a really go job. Anyway, the little troll is mine to kill, Zabuza said. Naruto looked surprised at that. He gave Naruto a look. Don't get the wrong idea, brat. I ain't doing this for Haku. He was soft, not meant for the ninja world. I'm doing this so it will be memorized into your mind what a true shinobi is. Get ready, kid, you're about to see why I'm called the Kirigaku no Kijin Demon of the Mist. He turned his attention back to Gato and his army. He moved forward slowly, picking up speed as he went. Naruto watched as Zabuza tore into the bandits with his blade. Naruto had to concede that Zabuza was right. He would memorize this day. Naruto sat in front of the grave of Momoki, Zabuza and Haku. The Kubakiriboko decapitating carving knife was used as Zabuza's headstone, while a wooden cross draped with Haku's brown sash. Naruto watched the graves for a while before he spoke. You know, Haku, I finally understand why you did what you did. I wasn't because you owe him, it was because he was important to you. He took you from your hellish life and gave you a purpose. I can see why you cared for him and why you saved him from Kakashi in that last moment. The same thing happened to me not too long ago when my favorite teacher took a shuriken in the back for me. He must really care for me as you did for Zabuza. While the no-brow said some stuff I didn't like, in the end, he showed that he cared for you a lot. I bet you were smiling at that, Naruto said and laughed for a bit. He stayed quiet for a few moments before he spoke again. You know, I think I'm going to create a ninja way for myself. I don't think that we're tools or demons. We're humans and we have the will to never give up. I learned that from the both of you. Zabuza may have been an ass, but he never gave up on going back to your village and taking control of it. You swore to protect Zabuza and you did just that. My Nindo, I'm not gonna run away and I never go back on my word. That'll be my Nindo, Naruto said with pride. He then stood up and looked at the graves. Well, I have to go and pack. We leave in the morning now that the bridge is done. I hope to see you soon, but not too soon. With that said, Naruto made his way back to Tazuna's house. Kakashi was reading his book while his students were packing up their things. With the bridge complete, it was time to get back to Konoha. It had been a few tense days since the fight on the bridge. He was glad that everyone got out of that situation with only a few bruises and cuts. He was very happy that Sasuke was alive and only put in a death-like state. Either way, everything had gone well and it was time to get back home. He turned when he heard the door open and in came Naruto. He guessed that Naruto was visiting the graves of Zabuza and Haku. He attempted to greet Naruto, but the blonde just scoffed and made his way upstairs to pack. He sighed and wondered what the blonde's problem with him was. He had gotten very cold to him and Sasuke. His attitude towards Sasuke was deserved when he demanded that Naruto teach him that Suten, water release, jutsu. It wasn't something to do since Naruto was thanking him for saving his life. However, his attitude toward him was something he didn't understand. He racked his brain, wondering what he did. He didn't like this attitude of his student and made a note to talk to Anko about it. Chapter 16 Kakashi decided to stop for the day. He led the team off the road and into a secluded spot. He did this so that he could get to the bottom of the attitude of one of his genin. Since leaving Nami no Kuni, Land of Waves, Naruto had gone out of his way to ignore him and Sasuke. He was also very insubordinate to his orders and just downright mean to Sasuke. While Sasuke did deserve it, he could have been a team player and helped him out some. He was not that way to Sakura, which surprised him. The two still argued, but they were friendlier to each other and helped one another improve. He wasn't against it, but he had grown tired of Naruto's attitude toward him and his other teammate. Okay, let's change things up. Sasuke, you go and get us some fish while Sakura goes and get us some firewood. Naruto, you set up the security around the area. Kakashi said. Hi, they said and went to do their duties. After a while and making sure that the other two were far enough, Kakashi decided to act. Naruto, we need to talk. Kakashi said. Oh yeah, what about? Naruto asked. It's about your current attitude. I don't know why you are acting like this, but it has become a problem. Kakashi said. So, my attitude is the problem. Maybe, it's your lack of being a sensei that's the problem. Naruto replied. What is that supposed to mean? Kakashi asked. Naruto glared at his sensei before remembered what he saw back in Nami no Kuni flashback Naruto was coming back from his training. It was all he could do since he was rejected again by his sensei. He did know what Kakashi's issue was, but he was starting to get sick of it. It wasn't just him, but it was Sakura as well. She was starting to take her training a little more seriously. All he told her to do was to work on her chakra control. It was a slap to her face in his opinion. Seeing that she liked books and all, he gave her the manual with basic Fuinjutsu, sealing technique. She took to it pretty easy and he saw some merit in her learning it. Still, he was pretty upset with Kakashi. As he continued his walk, he heard voices. He quietly sneaked up and saw Kakashi with Sasuke. Kakashi was sparring with him and teaching him things. Kakashi stopped him for a second and the two settled down. That wasn't bad, Sasuke. You'll get used to the Sharingan and its power. I'm impressed that you've done so well in 3 days. Kakashi said. So when are you going to teach me that jutsu that Naruto knows? Sasuke asked. We've been over this, Sasuke. Naruto's chakra is larger than yours, so he can handle it. You don't have the chakra to use that jutsu. Just keep working on increasing your chakra and I will teach it to you someday. What about the jutsu I showed you earlier? You can use it in many ways. Kakashi said. Naruto had heard enough and quickly left the area. He was so angry at what he heard that he needed to punch something. Present Kakashi looked at the eyes of an angry Naruto and cursed. He calmed himself and tried to explain as best he could to Naruto. Look, Naruto, as someone with the Sharingan, I am the best to teach Sasuke how to use his Kekkei Genkai. He doesn't have a family to teach him, so I must give most of my time to help him improve. Kakashi explained. So what, me and Sakura get put in the rear just because he has a pair of eyes that copies everyone's hard work? That's nothing but an excuse. Naruto spat. Listen, Naruto, Kakashi said. No, you listen. You have 3 students, not 1. You can't just push 2 of us aside just because the team activated his eyes. It is blatant favoritism and you know it. Sakura has excellent control, so why don't you teach her some genjutsu? I have the chakra of a jonin, so why don't you teach me some ninjutsu? You might be the only one who can teach Sasuke, but that doesn't mean you can make excuses on why you abandoned me and Sakura. You're not just a lazy sensei, you're a bad sensei as well, Naruto shouted. He quickly left and went back to what Kakashi told him to do. Kakashi was not happy about what had just happened. He couldn't believe the nerve of Naruto to call him out like that. He couldn't argue that Naruto was wrong, but he didn't like the fact that he said so to his face. He had never been talked to like that, especially from a genin. He sighed and decided to confront Anko about this. He only hoped that she would do something about it. Kakashi began his search for Anko as soon as he was out of the Hokage's office. The rest of the trip home was in total silence. Naruto continued to ignore him and Sasuke, Sakura and Naruto continued to talk to each other, and Kakashi was still a little angry. After dismissing his team and giving his report, he immediately seeked her out. It didn't take too long to find her, as she was either at her favorite tea shop or hassling Iruka. Lucky for him, she was eating dango and drinking tea. He walked up to her and caught her attention. "Oh Kakashi, you're back already," Anko said. "We need to talk, Anko," Kakashi said seriously. Anko gave him a critical eye before nodded. He led her out of the tea shop and to somewhere more private. Once there, Kakashi faced her. "So what's on your mind?" Anko asked. "I have to ask that you talk to Naruto. His attitude is unacceptable and a deterrent to the team," Kakashi stated. "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, he has issues with authority, but Naruto isn't someone to do something that would hurt the team," Anko explained. "His issue of questioning his superior's methods is hurting the team. What I do is for the good of the team, and he needs to understand that. I know that you like to question people, and I don't need another Anko on my squad," Kakashi said. "Okay, first of all, be happy that you have a second me on your team because I am awesome. Secondly, if Naruto questions your methods, then he either has a good reason to do so. I've taught him to always look at things for different angles. If he sees something wrong, then he's going to call you out on it, despite your rank," Anko said. "Just get him under control, Anko," Kakashi stated and vanished via Shunshin. Anko did not like the fact that she was just blown off like that. She was curious as to what happened on that mission. Naruto had just finished unpacking his equipment and decided to relax for a bit. He would not get his wish as he was suddenly tackled from behind. He wrestled with his attacker until he got pinned. His face was in between someone's thighs and they were starting to crush his head. He refused to open his eyes because he had been in a similar situation and was very embarrassed by it. "Damn it, Anko, get off me," Naruto growled. Anko chuckled before releasing him. Naruto sat up and rubbed his cheeks while Anko raided his fridge. "Hey, where's my sake?" Anko asked. "I got rid of it. I'm underage and I can't have that stuff here," Naruto said. "Spoil sport, luckily I keep a stash around here," Anko said. She grabbed a small bottle and a saucer before moving over to Naruto's living room. She sat down and took off her trench coat and poured her some of the liquid. Naruto did the same and sat down across from her. "So, I was visited by a very upset Kakashi earlier. Apparently, he's upset with how you're acting. Care to tell me what happened? He actually complained to you?" Anko nodded and Naruto sucked his teeth. "Wow, he's a bigger baby than I thought. All I said to him is that he was a bad sensei because he has ignored me and Sakura when it comes to training," Naruto said. "Well, he does have the Sharingan and he is the only one who can help the Uchiha brat," Anko said. "That's no excuse for ignoring me or Sakura. Sakura is finally taking her training seriously and she even asked him for help and he ignores her. We could have been killed on that mission because of his lack of training and attention," Naruto argued. "What happened on this mission, Naruto?" Anko asked. Naruto went into detail about what happened on the mission. Some of the things he was telling her were very surprising and upsetting. She couldn't believe that Kakashi had taken such an unprepared team into such a situation. When it got to the fight he had with the enemy, she noticed that he was kind of hesitant to talk about it. He, however, told her about the battle and the feeling that went through him when he got angry. At the end of it, the two fell into a comfortable silence. Anko understood why he was so hesitant in telling her. It seems that Naruto had tapped into the chakra of the Kyubi no Yoko, nine-tailed demon fox. She didn't know how the seal on Naruto worked, but she assumed that it was designed for him to use. She looked at the boy who called her his sister. It seemed that he didn't know what he did when he was in his rage, but he felt that something was wrong with what he felt. She didn't know what she could say to him that would snap him out of his funk. She decided to go with her gut. So, do you feel that you're a monster? She asked. What? No, I don't. I'm just confused. I can't really remember what I did, but I remember that feeling. I just wanted to destroy everything and everyone. I just don't want to have that feeling again. I don't know what I would do if I hurt one of my friends. Naruto said. Anko did understand because she had similar thoughts when she was younger. She moved over to Naruto and gave the blonde a one-armed hug. Naruto was a little confused by the action. Anko sensed his confusion. Don't worry, I'm not tricking you. Just be warned that if this gets out, I'll gut you like a fish. Clear? Anko said. Crystal. Naruto said with a gulp. Look, I can tell you a lot of things, Naruto, but nothing I say will help with how you feel. All you have to do is train harder than before and make sure that this never happens again. I know that you can do it because I believe in your strength. Anko said. Naruto smiled, a genuine smile, at her words. Thanks Oni-san, big sister. Naruto said. No problem, Ototo, little brother. Anko said. Naruto was walking around with Sakura. He had invited her to join him at Ichiraka's after she was rejected by Sasuke. Naruto was a little put off by her sour mood and sighed at her behavior. Are you really going to mope all the way to Ichiraka's? You aren't going to kill my mood for ramen just because you're sad about the team. Naruto said. Oh, shut up, Naruto. You don't know how it feels to hear someone call you useless. Sakura said. Naruto gave her a look and she sighed. Okay, maybe you do, but I'm still feeling bad. Well, you shouldn't feel bad. The team doesn't know what he's talking about. You've come a long way since Nami no Kuni. You're starting to take your training seriously. You're pretty good with the Fuinjutsu stuff and that genjutsu that you created, that can deal some real damage to anyone who isn't expecting it. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if you dominate Ino in a spar. Naruto said. His words made her smile. Sakura had taken her training seriously and surprisingly, Naruto had helped her get stronger. She thought that he wouldn't, but he stuck with her and helped her grow. Thanks Naruto, I needed to hear that. Now, can you tell me what your problem is with Kakashi-sensei and Sasuke-kun? I can see why you have issues with Sasuke-kun. How he's acting toward you is wrong. Still, what's your issue with Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked him. It was something that nagged her since they got back together after taking a few days off. A couple of days after they got back together, Naruto refused to call Kakashi sensei. He was still respectful and called him Taicho, captain, but she could see that Kakashi was not happy about it. His issue with Sasuke, she could understand after Naruto pulled out a new jutsu called Doton, Doru Tiger, Earth Release, Earth Flow River. Sasuke did not hide his intent to copy his jutsu. Naruto was so upset that he nearly turned Sasuke into a cut-up tissue. Sakura actually defended Naruto's actions and blamed Sasuke for the event. Look, you can call Kakashi sensei if you want, but until he actually teaches something to us, you can forget me calling him that, Naruto stubbornly said. Sakura sighed and the two just continued their trek to Ichiraku's. Unknown to them, another challenge was about to befall them. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe, and see you guys later.